Good morning, students. Yesterday we already discussed so many reactions of carbonyl compounds under the basic condition. Today we discussed about the Beckmann rearrangement. Beckmann rearrangement. In Beckmann rearrangement, today we discussed about the Beckmann rearrangement. We discussed about the Beckmann rearrangement. What is happening in Beckmann rearrangement? It is also one of the well-known named reaction, Beckmann rearrangement. In this reaction we are using like acetophenone or benzophenone. Like this is a benzophenone we are using with the reaction with hydroxylamine. After that we are getting benzoxime, oximes, so NH, OH, so this is oxime. After that we are getting oxime in presence of acids like H2SO4. Finally we are getting the amide is the product. So this is the well named reaction we called as a benzene condensation. Beckmann rearrangement. For example, if you take benzophenone is the reaction with hydroxylamine. So finally we are getting the ketoxime. So in presence of acidic medium, so under the rearrangement of this ketoxime to the amide, so this reaction we call as a Beckmann rearrangement. So what is happening in Beckmann rearrangement? So first we take as a ketoxime, like first of all we start with the benzophenone reaction with hydroxylamine. We are getting this ketoxime. So this ketoxime in presence of acidic medium, so under the protonation to the OH group we are getting this product H2O plus. We lose the water molecule, we form the new bond PH, N plus and PH. So in this time the phenyl group is migrating to the nitrogen side, so we are getting this product. So what is happening? The carbene ion formation PH and NPH. So here after that we are hydrolysis, OH hydrolysis in this intermediate. So what is happening? The carbon ion gain the OH minus. Because of here carbon having positive charge, in hydrolysis we have H plus and OH minus. The OH minus is attacking on carbocation. So we are getting this intermediate. After that this intermediate undergo involving in tautomerism process. Finally we are getting the amide is the product. So this is the product. So we are getting finally benzene is the. Here we discussed about the Beckmann rearrangement, some of the examples. Like if you take cyclohexanone undergo involving in Beckmann rearrangement. Finally, so the first cyclohexanone reaction with hydroxylamine, we are getting ketoxime. So this is the ketoxime we are getting. So this ketoxime after that in presence of acidic medium like H2SO4. So finally we are getting caprolactam, gamma caprolactam. So this is the one of the famous product. So this way too we prepare the gamma fractolactam. So then we discussed about the reduction reactions of the carbonyl compounds. So what is the reduction reactions of carbonyl compounds? Generally we have two reactions, major reactions are present in carbonyl reduction reaction. The first one Clemmensen reduction. So the second one Wolff-Kishner reduction. So the Clemmensen, first we discussed about the Clemmensen reduction. So what is happened when Clemmensen reduction take place? So Clemmensen reduction, in this reduction, so what is the Clemmensen reagent? So the Clemmensen reagent, zinc amalgam, so that means zinc and mercury. So in presence of acidic medium like HCl, so what is happening to the Clemmensen reduction to participate the carbonyl compounds? First of all, we take a simple example, aldehyde. So reaction with Clemmensen reagent. So under reduction process, we are getting alkanes, like you are getting the number of carbon, same number of carbon containing alkane compounds. Okay. Sound. So in Clemmensen reduction, we are getting the same number of the carbonyl compounds converting into the alkanes. So like we are getting this way to prepare the carbonyl compounds to alkanes or CH3. For example, in place of acetaldehyde, so this is the acetaldehyde undergo involving in Clemmensen reduction process in presence of zinc amalgam, in the presence of acidic medium, we are getting the ethane. Ethane is the product. Okay. So the next one, if you take in presence of ketones, so ketones also converting into the alkanes groups. Like for example, if you take a simple example, acetone, we know the very well example of acetone. So the acetone is converting into number of carbons. How many carbons are present in acetone? CH3, CO, CH3. This is acetone. So involving in Clemmensen reduction process, we are getting the propane is the product. So this is the 3 carbons containing alkane. So that's why we name called as a propane. So the next one, Wolff-Kishner reduction. In this process, so the major difference between the Wolff-Kishner process and Clemmensen reduction, the Clemmensen reduction conducting in the presence of acidic medium, in Wolff-Kishner reduction the conducting in the presence of basic medium. So that is the major difference between the Clemmensen reduction and Wolff-Kishner reduction. First of all, we start with the Wolff-Kishner reduction. So what is the reagent of Wolff-Kishner reagent? So hydrazine in presence of basic medium. So this one as a reagent of Wolff-Kishner reagent. So here also the Wolff-Kishner reagent converting into carbonyl compounds to alkanes. So like Clemmensen reagent. So the major difference between the Wolff-Kishner reagent and Clemmensen reagent. So the Clemmensen reagent under the acidic medium reduction reaction. This is the basic medium reduction reaction. So for example, we start with simple aldehyde. So this is the simple aldehyde to react with hydroxylamine in presence of basic medium. Finally, we are getting the alkane. So alkane is the product. Here also, so if the ketones reaction with Wolff-Kishner reagents, so what is happening here also, we are getting the alkane is the product. So some of the examples we discussed here. If you take some examples of acetaldehyde in presence of Wolff-Kishner reagent, so what is the product? We are getting the ethane is the product. So this is the acetaldehyde. So under Wolff-Kishner condition, So what is the reagent of Ulf-Kirchner? Hydrazine in basic condition. So finally we are getting ethane is the product. So in case of acetone with reaction with hydroxylamine. So what is the product? So we are getting propane is the product. So this is the Wolff-Kishner reagent reduction reactions. So the next one, Mervin-Van-Raff-Verley reduction. This is a reduction process. This reverse reaction we called as a open level oxidation. So in this reaction, to prepare the carbonyl compounds to alcohols. For example, if you take ketones to prepare the secondary alcohols, like so the Mervin-Van-Raff-Verley reduction, it is a reversible reaction. If it is a oxidation process, we called as a open over oxidation. If the reduction process, we called as a Mervin-Van-Raff-Verley reduction. So the reagent of MPV reaction, Mervin-Van-Raff-Verley reaction, the MPV reduction reagent, aluminium isopropoxide. This is the reagent of Mervin-Van-Raff-Verley reduction. So what is happening? For example, if you take a ketone plus, so this one secondary alcohol, so undergo Mervin-Van-Raff-Verley reduction. So the ketone is converting into secondary alcohol plus this secondary alcohol converting into ketone. So it is a reversible reaction. If this reaction we take the reverse process, that is we conduct as a open over oxidation reaction. The next one, reaction with lithium aluminum hydride and sodium borohydride. So lithium aluminum hydride and sodium borohydride. So this reagent to use to reduction of carbonyl compounds to convert it to alcohols. So for example, if you take the acetaldehyde or aldehyde in presence of lithium aluminum hydride, it gives primary alcohols. With the product. The second one, if you take ketones, reaction with lithium aluminum hydride. So we are getting the secondary alcohol is the product. So the aldehydes undergo reduction process in presence of lithium aluminum hydride. It gives primary alcohols. If ketones and the reduction process with lithium aluminum hydride, we are getting the secondary alcohol is the product. So we discussed some of the examples. In the same case, sodium borohydride also. In place of lithium aluminum hydride, we take sodium borohydride. So in this case, we are getting same primary alcohols from aldehydes and secondary alcohols from ketones. Let's be discussed about some of the examples with lithium aluminum hydride. For example, if you take acetaldehyde, a simple example, reaction with lithium aluminum hydride. Finally, we are getting the ethyl alcohol is the product. If you take acetone, what is happening if acetone involving in lithium aluminum hydride reduction process? So we are getting the isopropyl alcohol is the product. So this is the secondary alcohol. This is isopropyl alcohol. So the next one, we discussed about this process under the catalytic and reduction process. If you take Ronnie nickel, like Ronnie nickel, and palladium barium sulfates, like these are all catalytic process to produce the primary alcohols to the from aldehydes and secondary alcohols from ketones. Next we discussed about the designation test of carbonyl compounds. So first of all, we can identify carbonyl compounds by the 2,4 DNP test. All carbonyl compounds gives 2,4 DNP test. What is mean by 2,4 DNP? We already discussed about the 2,4 DNP. It is a 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine. 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine. This is the hydrazine. This phenyl group attached with the 2 position and substitution as a nitro group, and 4th position also substitution on a nitro group. So this is the 2,4 DNP. So if you take any carbonyl compound to react with 2,4 DNP, we are getting the orange PPT. So this is indicated. So the compound may be carbonyl compound. So for example, if you take a simple example, the reaction with acetaldehyde also, aldehyde also, we are getting the hydrazone precipitation, that is orange precipitation, to identify the carbonyl compounds. So the specific reactions of the to identify the aldehydes, like if you take Tollens reagent, Tollens test, we also call as a Tollens test. What is Tollens reagent? The Tollens reagent is ammonical silver nitrate. Ammonical silver nitrate. So this one we called as a ammonical silver nitrate is a Tollens reagent. Generally, the Tollens reagent react with only aldehyde, not react with the ketone. So when you compare to reactivity order, aldehyde is more reactive than ketones. That's why the Tollens reagent involving in reduction process with only aldehydes, not with the ketones. Okay. So aldehydes give positive test to the Tollens reagent. So what is happening to the react with the Tollens reagent to the aldehyde? So in Tollens reagent, so the aldehyde involving in oxidation process, it is converting into the carboxylate ion, plus we are getting silver mirror as a precipitate. This silver mirror indicates that the compound may be present aldehyde group. So this is the one of the identification test of carbonyl compounds, aldehyde identification test. So this test gives only aldehydes, not give the ketones. So the second one, failing reagents. So this test also positive test give by the aldehydes only. When it is come to react with the failing reagent to the aldehyde, so we are getting the red precipitation. It is indicated by the compound may be carbonyl group present at the carbonyl. So the next reaction, it is a very simple reaction we already conducted in carbohydrates class. So reaction with bromine water. It is also mild oxidizing agent. So this mild oxidizing agent reaction with only aldehydes, not with the ketones. So the aldehyde reaction with bromine water gives the same number of the carboxylic acid as a product. For example, if you take acetaldehyde, so how many carbons are present in acetaldehyde? 2 carbons. So the reaction with bromine water, finally this compound we are getting to acetic acid is the product. Acetic acid is the product. The ketone does not reaction with bromine water because of the bromine water is a mild oxidizing agent. So that's why the key aldehydes to react with bromine water only, not with the ketones. The next one, it is a alloform reaction test. So it is also designation test, alloform reaction test. This test conducted by identification of methyl ketones, what we call methyl ketones. So the methyl group present in the ketone, so this group is present at the ketone, that we call as a methyl ketone. This positive test give also acetaldehyde also. So except one acetaldehyde, remaining aldehydes not giving this methyl ketone test. So this is also we called as a iodoform test. The reaction with iodine in presence of basic medium, we are getting the iodoform. It is a precipitation, yellow precipitation, light yellow precipitation, to identify the methyl ketones. So all aldehydes not giving the methyl ketone test, that is iodoform test, except acetaldehyde give the iodoform test because of acetaldehyde having methyl ketone group like CH3CO groups. That's why it is giving the iodoform test. So first of all we discuss the iodoform test. So that is all iodoform test only give the methyl ketones. Like if you take methyl ketone like this one, under reaction with iodine in presence of sodium hydroxide, it gives the iodoform. So you know the iodoform Ci3. First of all we are getting Ci3COHR, and again with reaction with sodium base. So finally we are getting the, in this case we are getting iodoform plus carboxylic acid is the product. This way we can identify the methyl ketones to conduct the iodoform test to identify the methyl ketones. Okay. So next we discussed about the some of the designations test we already discussed. Iodoform test also give the secondary alcohols, also give the iodoform test because of the secondary alcohols under the reaction with iodine and NaOH to give the acetone. Like for example, if you take isopropyl alcohol, so this is the one of the example of secondary alcohols. So in first step, the secondary alcohols converting into the acetone. So that's why the secondary isopropyl alcohols also give the iodoform test. So it is converting into CH3COH, and then after this iodoform acetone give the iodoform test because of this acetone having methyl ketone group. So it is converting into the triiodo acetone. Then after it break to the, this way we break. So finally we are getting iodoform plus acetic acid. This is also give the iodoform test. The secondary alcohols also give the iodoform test. So the major difference between the primary aldehydes and ketones to distinguish with the help of Tollens test and Fehling test. If you conduct 2,4 DNP test, we can identify the carbonyl compounds. If any unknown compound to precipitate orange PPT to the 2,4 DNP, it is maybe carbonyl compound. If the carbonyl compound positive test at Tollens test and Fehling test, it is confirmed to the aldehyde. So if there is no positive test to the Tollens and Fehling test, it is maybe ketones. If the methyl ketone we can identify with the iodoform test. So this way we can identify the aldehydes and ketones and carbonyl compounds to the unknown samples. Okay. So this is our class. Today our carbonyl compounds topic is over. Tomorrow we will discuss a new topic with new topic. Okay, thank you.